The tone early there, Kansas City having one first down in just the first half, even with a flu game, as Jalen kind of alluded to there. But Isaiah, what did you make of that defensive performance last night that really stole the show of Super Bowl 59?
I loved every part of it because the football is the ultimate game of team, right? And when you're talking about team, that requires individuals to be selfless. And the man that you just saw speak on your screen, Jalen Carter, was probably the most selfless individual on that defense yesterday, and it paid dividends because the other guys were able to eat. Jalen Carter, the most dominant player on that defensive line, said, you know what? I know they're going to key on me. Hey, I know that in order for us to win this ball game, we not only have to stop and stuff up the middle so that Isaiah Pacheco can't get a running game established, but I also have to hold down the fort, take up two blockers so that Patrick Mahomes has nowhere to escape. So when he wants to step up in the pocket, he's going to see moi. And when he wants to try to escape out the pocket, he's going to see y'all. And that's in Sweat, and that is in Hunt. Those guys were after him, but it started with him holding it down, Jalen Carter that is, in the middle. And he did such an amazing job and allowed not only for his defensive ends to go out there and eat, but he freed up guys like Zach Bond to go out there and play free because now there's no offensive lineman working up to the next level. It was the ultimate team game by that Philadelphia Eagles defense. They executed it perfectly.
You know, the Kansas City offensive line, they've been showing this type of weakness all season long. I think that's why a lot of the games were very, very close. And I love what Jalen Carter said in that because there was one part where he's talking about how good the team is and how selfless they are and being able to let other people. It's very easy on the line to be like, I want to make the play. And you can create lanes because you're trying to get the sack. And there's been so many types of teams like that I've played on where you get the people who want to be the individual stars and they will throw out the other person, throw them under the bus just so they can rise to the occasion. When you have a team and a cohesive unit like that, it allows you to take advantage of the situation. And that line, they were winning with the four best guys up front, and they were just going. That's why you don't have to run the blitzes and you don't have to get exotic because you're saying my four are better than your offensive line. I bet you can't stop it. But I absolutely love what he said in that situation because so many teams have individual players on the team, and these guys were working collectively, and Vic Fangio took advantage of this offensive line where he saw all season long that they were having problems being able to block up front.
And you talk, obviously, Jalen Carter, right? Who did he just stop and hug in that interview?
Milton.
Milton Williams. He's a guy that's underappreciated by, I would say, most fans, right? They're watching the game because everybody's looking at Jalen Carter. Everybody's looking at Sweat. Jalen Carter requiring double teams allows Milton Williams to have one-on-one matchups. He stopped that interview and gave him a hug, said, pay this man, because he knew what he was capable of. And that's what I mean by being selfless. I will take all the pressure. I will consume these guys so that you can go win your matchups. Not only did Milton Williams win his matchups, he had 2 sacks. He had 2 sacks. He killed that offensive guard all game long. And that's what I mean when you start talking about team. Love it.
And you mentioned Joe Thuney being kicked outside. The offensive line problems the Chiefs really had all season illustrates that point. That was the Chiefs' story in Super Bowl 55, not having those tackles and Tampa Bay exploiting them. And you mentioned Vic Fangio leading that cohesion, the chemistry, the selflessness, not only the scheme to attack Patrick Mahomes, but Vic Fangio in the building that he once led the Dome Patrol, arguably the greatest linebacking duo of all times with Swilling and Mills and Jackson and Johnson. And in the very building he lost a Super Bowl as defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, to get back there and to have his defense, after hearing Steve Spagnuolo, the genius, deservedly so, all week long, Vic Fangio reminding us as well that, hey, I'm pretty good too. And we heard Peter say earlier in the show that, yes, he didn't really shy away from all that praise. He didn't need the validation. But after 38 years coaching here in the NFL, Vic Fangio to win a Super Bowl championship, to have his defense be the main reason why in Super Bowl 59. Pretty extraordinary effort by that side of the ball.
Cool stories, right? We talked about some of the players that have never won a Super Bowl that got to last night. Vic Fangio, we see you.